Now we are going to discuss about writing a business plan. Chance favors the prepared mind. No matter how it is looked at, writing accurately, briefly, and with clarity is an essential business skill. This is because writing, particularly in a business context, fulfills four important roles. The first one is it conveys information by communicating intentions, objective opinions, and ideas, as well as ongoing development and plan for the future. Written material in an format can also be conventionally filed away and stored as a form of definite recording. It clarifies information by helping to eliminate misunderstood ideas. Writing forces the person who is writing to think about and clarify the idea subject that he or she is writing about. Topic tend to be confirmed and strength when someone takes the time to write them down. It reflects seriousness or the part of the writer committing a project to writing, shows internet devotion and dedication. It holds people accountable. Poor communication is often blamed for problem as deserve as credibility issues by incompetence and different beliefs. These situations can be avoided if the use of clear, concise information is understood beforehand. Writing also provides a guide it can that can be used to measure and compare thoughts with others as well as future results. Why write a business plan? When one takes into consideration that facts, the number one reason why new business fail is a lack of planning. The importance of writing a business plan becomes more apparent. Don't try to avoid the time and hassle of sitting down and putting together a comprehensive plan. As well as research business plans make it possible to define and write the business concept, keep a focus on objectives, spot and rectify weakness before they become major problems. Recruit personnel by defining what is needed and what skills employee must have. Create a map that helps guide and business through unfriendly environments. Convince investors that the business idea is sound. Convince money lenders of the entrepreneur's ability to pay back a loan. Convince potential customers that the business will serve their credibility and obtain necessary permits and its license. Next is the essential of good planning. The main purpose of a business is to compare the potential is to compare the potential sales of a product against its expenses. Put another way, a business plan is not a forum for an entrepreneur to brag about how wonderful or creative his or her idea is. What potential customers may say about the product and what uh, the market reveals are far more important, as discussed in chapter 5. The point of business research is to determine who is going to buy a product, find out how many are going to buy, and discover if the market is strong enough to sustain future sales. A business that plans on selling ice cream, for example, needs to know how much it costs to produce, sell, and store ice cream. This includes the cost of raw material, equipment expenses, the cost of license, utilities, cost, and so on. Further analysis will reveal how many scoops of ice cream must be sold per week to cover these expenses. If the number shows that the amount of money collected from the projected is greater than the cost of production, it's likely that a profit can be made. A simple business plan layout. The essential of a good business plan is that an executive summary, a clear description of the products and the people behind it, research findings, market strategies, cost, wages, and financial projections. In other words, good business plan do not rely on expenses, buildings, novel lengths, discourses, or fancy graphics. The emphasis is on solid information and reliable explanations as to how information was collected. The following outline is designed to help uh, write a business plan. A brief description accompanies each section. Note that nine sections are not mandatory when it comes to writing a business plan. However, the criteria in each of the nine sections does needed need to be addressed. Ideally, every section of a business plan should be easy to read and be arranged to suit the eye of the intended reader. Section 1. A cover page and a title and a table of contents. First compression or important. Every business plan needs an eye-catching professional look cover page followed by an easy to use table of content. Section 2. An executive summary. A good summary briefly use one or two pages to describe the product, its competitive advantages, who is the product will serve, the size of the market, the goals and objectives of the entrepreneurs, and a few probability estimates. Keep everything short. The objective here is to whet the reader's appetite, not to explain details. Section 3. A full description of the product services. This includes how it was conceived, why it's needed, and its function and design, why it's different, and a comparison with similar product services. Focus on competitive advantage and disadvantage and provide a brief overview of the intended customer base. Profitability estimates along with how the estimates were obtained should also be included. Section 4. A description of the business goals and objectives should be mentioned, as well the intended location of the business and explanation of the business legal structure and organization setup is mandatory. Comparison with the similar business are also useful. Section 5. Market potential. Here is where market research enters the picture. This section needs to have a full assessment of the market in Tammy's demographic characteristics and trends. A complete description of product demand, that is where prospective customers are located and their number. Future uh, the future outlook of the market, and a thorough analysis of the competition, who the competitors are, where they are, their strength and weakness, and forecast of their future intention. Be certain that the data used in accurate, reliable. In other words, don't exaggerate. All number and forecast will need explanation clearly showing how data was obtained, if a loan from bank or other sources is needed. Section 6. Marketing strategy. This is the plan showing how the business will announce his arrival, how its product will be advertised and promoted, the cost involved market entry barriers, the intended price of the product and distribution plans, a brief description of selling procedure, and how sales of or the sales team will be organized in equally as important. Next is section number 7. Section number 7 is the financial overview. If outside funding is being sought, this will be the section most studied by investors and money lenders. Indeed, many experts consider the financial section of a business plan to be the most important. Financial forecast for the first year, second year, third year, and fifth year are mandatory, along with a brief description explaining how the numbers were obtained. Income statements as well as outgoing cash flow projections need to be clear and concise. A break-even analysis is important, as is the intended sources of required funds and how that funding will be applied. Do not place financial information in paragraph from numbers should be displayed in easy to read graphs or charts. Section 8. The people behind the plan. This section involves a description of the main people who will be implementing the plan, including a rundown of each person's skill, experience, education, and background. Also, worth description are the number of employees needed, a run through of wages requirements, including those of the entrepreneur's job description, and brief synopsis of job responsibilities and the business employees training procedure. Section number 9. An exit strategy, because too many entrepreneurs do not know when to call it quits. And exit strategy is an important consideration. For example, if the business proves to be successful, it may be necessary to hire an experienced manager to handle growth. At what point will this be done? On the other hand, if the business is losing money, a course of action should be established in advance as to when and how to end options. How much money will be lost before failure is recognized? Will the business be sold in its entirely, or will it be broken into pieces and sold? An exit strategy can provide possible answer to these questions long before the entrepreneurs descends deeper into debts. The most common mistakes made when writing a business plan. Verbosity. If asked to describe themselves, few people begin by talking about their birth, their adolescence, their teen years, their first love, their pets, and their experience and encounters up to the present day. Curiously, however, many people take this route when writing a business plan. The message: don't overdo it. Keep each section of the business plan as short as concise as possible. Lack of scope include not having sufficient data to complete nine sections of a business plan, as well as the 13 reason why essential businesses fail. Overconfidence or lack of insight, aged behavior, the entrepreneurs who rely on hope, charm, or enthusiasm rather than legitimate research impress to no one. Every section of a business plan should stick to solid research. In fact, all it takes is one embellished fact or uninformed opinion to reveal itself, and the entire business plan will be seen as complete fabrication. Additional suggestions for writing a solid business plan. Keeping the following suggestions in mind before, during, and after writing a business plan. Stay on track. Consider the specific reason why your plan is being written. What is the plan's intentions? What is it supposed to accomplish? Is its purpose to acquire funding, to gain licensing permission, or is there another focus? Can the aims be summarized in one sentence and be used as the main point? It should convey the message of plan in a way that its recipients will understand exactly who will be reading the document, what are their likes and dislikes, is the correct tone or attitude being used, how much does the recipient already know about the topic, will he or she understand the terms and language used. Third is hear the plan carefully. Does the document proceed in a logical and organized way? Does every sentence and paragraph justify itself? That is it organized around a central theme? Have enough graphs, details, and explanation been included to support the main point? Is everything that has been written down necessary? If not, remove it. Is it clear to the reader what he or she needs to know or do afterward? Take the time to develop, praise, and edit the completed documents before submitting it. Is the document's layout effective, or its title, spacing, and text will balanced? Is the document information and style easily accessible? Has someone proofread the document? It should be proofread by several people. Do the beginning and ending statements have a resounding impact? Next is the business plan advice from the pros. That is, don't try to impress the intended recipients of a business plan with fancy jargon or over technical wording. When crunching your research, members don't forget to add personal wages requirements into the overall expenses, even if your plan if you plan on living if of your savings. For a while, wage requirement included rent, car payments, insurance need, bills, energy costs, pocket money, and food and living experience. Keep your business plan short and to the point. Avoid long sentences and long paragraphs. Don't be obligations. Have all facts and figures reviewed by a professional before showing them to others.
For the financial section of the develop a worst case scenario. Check with the local bank to see if it offers before plan booklet. Use graph rather than an avalanche of words to explain complicated numerical information. So these were the important plans that how to write about business plan.